yourself and them.
That's
Non-judgmental. If you judge, you don't hold the space. You know, but if you say, if you allow, this is all arising as nothing appearing as everything from that ground zero of awareness. It allows everything. It allows the crack dealer in New York right now. It allows the brothel people, the this and that. It allows the schemes and all the dreams and all the greed and all the lust and all the everything outbursts itself into everything is allowed. This is consciousness playing every single role it can think of on many, many, many different levels. It's ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
And it's all allowed. And who am I to say different? How can I judge what your role is? I always like to say God is a big fisherman and he's like got us all hooked. But he's drawing us through different waters back home. Some are going past sand reefs, some are doing coral reefs, some are just going over seaweed, you know. Everybody has a different way that they're walking. You can't tell, you know, what another person needs. You can only go to yourself, be authentic with yourself, and then you light up. Then you're a person that can share that. But no, you know, sometimes we get these awesome, outrageous lessons of unfairness, where people are treating us unfairly. You know, I mean, it's outrageous. It's like, oh my God, how could he do that to me? And yet, you come through that, having learned so many lessons, having surfaced so much emotion, jealousy, possessiveness, anger, greed, separation, hatred, vanity, desire for something outside of yourself. It's just plain ignorance. You know, I don't care. That kind of thing. All these points of view can come up. And that's to be mined for gold. Because just behind all of those points of view, there's that just prior to it that rose up from. Rumi said it best, between right and wrong there's a field, meet me there. Just prior to all this thinking. Because thinking and language was taught. Baby doesn't have meditation in a story, in a structured way. And it doesn't have language. You have to be like a child again, just innocent. And that's what I'm talking about, just soft seeing, non-judgmental seeing. It'll just be what it is, and maybe it's not what I thought it was. Maybe I don't have to worry about it. Maybe I'm not in charge. Maybe something greater is just rolling it all out perfectly.
Very sensitive.
You know,
When did you arrive at this state?
I arrived nowhere. Damien never got away. Damien was just completely a fool all the time and always will be. But I know I'm not Damien.
Does that make sense
When
to
did
you?
you figure that out?
Oh. There's stages. There's this, I started talking about this before. There's the waking up within the dream and waking up from the dream. I woke up within the dream rather early in my life in 1972. Or, yeah, 72. And that just meant I just started to be real easy with everything, you know, less tense about things. Like you'd wake up in a dream, you know, you're not excited that the Tyrannosaurus Rex is after you, because it's a dream, so what? It's kind of fun, you know. But waking up from the dream, that happened maybe about 8 months ago, something like that, 6 to 8 months ago. It took me a long time. I was really thick. They say enlightenment is an accident. You know, there are certain things that you can do to make yourself accident prone, and that's looking at your thought and not buying into it, not being bullied by your thoughts, not being bullied by what you thought was true. Question what you think is true. Because in reality is the good. Reality is the truth. Reality is the bliss. It's Satchitananda. It's unbroken bliss consciousness. It has nothing to do with anything that has to do with name or form or boundaries. It's completely unbounded. Completely free. It's free of even being free. There's no opposites. There's no asleep, no awake. It's beyond language. You can't reach it through language. To talk about it is asana. Seriously.
Finger pointing at the moon.
Yeah. And that's all you could do, is just point. And this is what you point. You go, it's you. It's like all the non-dualists who say, tag, you're it. Do you believe me? And some people investigate. I think it's worthwhile to investigate. To look and see, what makes you happy? What makes you sad, you know? You know, what's your passion? You know? How do you want to shine your light? What gift do you bring into the celebration? You know? How are you going to light up this now? You know, I'm not saying take on world challenges and things like that. I'm just saying start with right this moment. What's wrong with this moment? It's all we have. You know? It's all we have. Our light naturally shines out in this moment. If you let it, you know. You don't get in the way. It's a matter of not getting in your own way. Not taking yourself to be less than what you really are. You know.